Some say the RTS genre, otherwise known as the real-time strategy genre, is dead. Others say that it's hibernating, and others still believe that right now we are about to experience a resurgence of the RTS-style game. Regardless of that, I think it's really important to listen to some music from RTS games, because boy, for those of us that grew up in the 90s, we certainly have a lot to talk about when it comes to Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Command and Conquer, Empire at War, Warcraft, and the list goes on and on. Let's dive in, shall we? First up is the Starcraft 2 soundtrack, Terran 1. Let's listen. Love this build up here. Loud horns crescendoing. Electric guitar. Got some real nice bass in here. It's all expositionary. We're just setting things up here. Oh, I love that guitar. Hell yeah. It feels like we're inviting conflict. There's a sense of confidence in that guitar, the Wild West soundscape. I'm surprised we pulled back. That's actually kind of reflective, isn't it? Nice snare drum build in the back. Oh, I thought that was vocals. Wow, it feels like it's singing. We're about to reach the apex of this piece 2 minutes in. No, key change. Love that bass in there. It's so confident, isn't it? Harmony in the horns. I'm so interested by the resets here. Love the horns. Nice fade out actually here, but we retained the the bass playing there, that heartbeat. You know, this track has a lot of ebbs and flows. Actually, it's sort of surprising to me and actually catches me slightly off guard because we end up having this swelling and retreating, kind of like a wave. So we have this buildup in the first minute and a half, and then we have a real, not super introspective, but we have a pullback where the violin comes in, and that violin basically sounds like a singer. And what I love about that is that soundscape sort of delivers the sense of humanity, not wanting to have to like go towards battle, but also recognizing that it's a soldier's duty or responsibility. Something that I find really interesting as well is that in the first chunk of this, we really are sort of arriving at the battle point. It feels deeply like processing an experience. And so often, or at least in my interpretation of what I expected StarCraft 2's music to sound like, was going to be much more orchestral, much more sci-fi sounding, and pretty much assume that all RTS tracks are going to sound sort of like Command & Conquer. There's not necessarily a lot of dynamic thought process when it comes to ensuring that not everything is just loud and bombastic and like going to war, right? And so what I'm hearing in this Terran 1 track especially is a sense of thought and feeling and wanting to know whether or not this is the right decision to go to war. I also just really genuinely loved the violin melody, that middle section there, as we sort of then reset back into another. I also found that the acoustic guitar really lends itself to this concept of humanity, and I'm assuming that the Terran theme is based around folks that are from a place called Terra, and so there's a human element there. And I thought that the guitar had a bit of a barren wasteland desert soundscape because of that sort of Wild West guitar sound that we hear. Maybe that's also like a bit of confidence that comes through, but that was really, really neat. And StarCraft has been around for forever. I'm pretty sure it's still kicking just fine, but it was really interesting to hear that. Next up is actually Just Do It Up over from Command & Conquer. I've never heard this before, so I'm curious to hear what this sounds like. Oh. It's got that Frank Klepacki sound.
get back to equal justice. Increase fear and suspicion.
Repeat.
Let's get back to equal justice.
Repeat.
Let's get back to equal justice. Increase fear and suspicion.
Repeat.
Increase fear and suspicion. Just do it up.
Every encounter is going to be much more difficult. Repeat. Every encounter is going to be much more difficult. Repeat.
Gentlemen, this is about combat.
Repeat.
Gentlemen, this is about combat.
Just do it up. 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 Just do it up.
This really feels like the grunge rock of the 90s, and it certainly feels really, really, really rooted in that time period. I mean, if you put this on the radio, I actually think that people would listen to this. It looks like it came out in 2005, but it actually feels to me like music that I heard in the early 90s, or sorry, late 90s. I wasn't real, I was 3. And I find it kind of cool because while it's not necessarily a sound that I like particularly love, I find it really cool that in the context of an RTS game where you're managing your bases, and I think in this particular game, if I recall, like the imagery, there's red bases, blue bases, and so on and so forth. It really does like motivate you. It does it in a way that is really unconventional, because they could have easily gone with an orchestral score or with a score that is a little bit more obvious to the style, maybe more of a heavy metal style. But going in this like 90s soundscape, I think actually makes it more memorable, and it makes it almost stand the test of time much more. I mean, what I've seen from Hellmarch and what I've seen or heard from Hellmarch and what I've heard from other Command & Conquer tracks, we really are getting a unique style that is fully involved with spoken word and fully involved with presentation. I dig that. I think that that's really impressive. I really do like the fact that so much, first of all, this was pretty repetitive, and I think that that's the point. It's supposed to set us up for while we're fighting, but it does galvanize, right? It does give a sense of like, I gotta just do it up. Just do it up. I thought it was really cool, and I also really like that the vocal tracks are in here, but slightly modified. I think I'm about to shift gears, but I don't actually know. This is the Dawn of War 2 Angels of Death Space Marine theme. Let's listen to this. Yeah. I did switch it up. Love the strings in here. Yes. This is such an anthemic march. Oh my god, the brass is so phenomenal. That's so sick. To me, when I hear that, I feel like I hear and think no thoughts, only like loyalty to the crown or loyal to the kingdom or whatever. And I just picture like a sea of space marines with these big giant suits, wearing their helmets and just marching towards battle with like just no opinion on the matter. right? But what I find really interesting and fun is the chanting really is that nationalistic anthem. This is very much a march, especially when you consider ba 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 rum, ba ba bum, ba ba ba. Here I am, right? And that's the recurrent constant. I love the emphasis on the horns, especially, of course. It's very funny to go from Command and Conquer to then go to this because obviously they're completely different. This, of course, is much more my style. This orchestral emphasis on marching towards victory, marching towards destruction, maiming everyone in your way. It really does feel hulking. I'm thinking Star Wars like AT-AT type vehicles, just prominent mechanical and super force that will decimate anything in the way. The song exudes confidence, exudes a sense of strength, and exudes a sense of I'm going to wipe the floor with you. And that's really satisfying. And again, even though we have the chorus and stuff, like the first track we listened to from Starcraft had a bit of like, should we be doing this? This is like, no, we are. We have no other option. You know what I mean? I loved that. It just showcases even we listen to 3 different tracks and there's nuance in every single one of them for a different soundscape, either revolving a race of people, a group of soldiers, or an intended purpose on the battlefield. And that's cool because you think RTS and you look at it, and if you're not a fan of it, let's say, you say to yourself, well, okay, they're all kind of the same. And yet they're not. They are incredibly detailed, and each one of these tracks is serving a different purpose, which is really, really neat. Let's listen to Felonious Junk from Age of Empires 3. It's got Philip Glass vibes, just sort of repeating patterns. But this feels more like a turn of the century. Nice crescendo in there. Really nice crescendo. Nice pluck in the bass. Unison horns. We repeat the cycle, but then the strings come in. Very singable melody. It's gonna plant itself into the ear. Wow. See, now we have the full orchestra repeating the thing that we just heard, which sets us up to latch onto it. This is an ambient theme that's ridiculous. Now we get the danger though. So it's like desire for success. Oh, the piano. Oh, that's really bad. That's bad news, right? Swell. That is haunting, isn't it? You have this guitar mixed with the piano, lower register. What a nuanced track. Wow, that's amazing. And so, you know what it makes me think about? So this is an ambient track. So this is something that we're like, maybe turn of the century, maybe like, I picture like the Bronze Age, and we're navigating, you know, a new environment and we're trying to make the best of it, but there's danger around every corner. It's really a track that makes you feel like you have hope for the world and a desire for things to be all right. And you're looking after your people and you're taking care of everyone. But then on the flip side, you know that danger's around the corner, whether it be an animal or another civilization that's coming for you and to take your land. I've played in Age of Empires. I remember how much it hurt to play online, even on my 32-bit internet, and play with somebody that instantly wiped me out. I think I only did multiplayer like 4 times in my life because I knew that it was impossible for me to actually get my civilization up to snuff before it was too late. But I thought that was really, really beautiful. There was so much nuance in there that was really fun to listen to as well. Really, really beautiful. So speaking of beautiful, I've been asked to talk about this song quite a bit, and this is the Homeworld intro, which features the Samuel Barber Adagio for strings, and hopefully the copyright gremlins will be alright and we can watch this together.
Scaffold control standing by.
All stations green.
You're cleared to approach.
Wow.
You got it.
Bays 8, 9, and 10 sealed.
Scaffold decks A, B, C secure. Decks D and E secure. Scaffold secure. All systems green. Release crew standing by. What a beautiful sight.
That's so powerful.
This is Fleet Command. Reporting Mothership relaunch status. Command online. Resourcing online. Construction online. Cryogenic subsections A through J online. K through S online. Scaffold control, stand by for alignment. Alignment confirmed. Stand by, release control.
All caliper banks released.
The mothership has cleared the scaffold.
Wow. It's so cool watching
We
this
are
mothership.
away.
Is that Donna Nobis Pacem? Yeah, I think so. Probably represents the mothership.
Stand by for command line testing.
Command line green. Initial fleet in position.
That's so powerful.
Setting drives to idle.
Oh my gosh, that's profound. You know what's crazy about that is that the Adagio for Strings is a work by Samuel Barber, arranged for string orchestra from the second movement of his string quartet, Opus 11. Barber was inspired by Virgil's didactic poems, Georgics. The Georgics is a poem by Latin poet Virgil, likely published in 29 BCE. As the name suggests, the subject of the poem is agriculture. But far from being an example of peaceful rural poetry, it is a work characterized by tension in both theme and purpose. In the quartet, the Adagio follows a violently contrasting first movement, molto allegretto and appassionato. Allegro would mean fast, molto allegro, appassionato, and passionate, and is succeeded by a third movement that opens with a brief reprise from the first movement, marked molto allegro come prima, like before. And I think what's really interesting about the Adagio for Strings is the plaintive quality that exists in it can be applied to so many different things. And in this particular case, as the mothership sort of gets set up, really like locks us in and makes us not even think about time anymore. It's fascinating because it really feels like we're looking at like something to revere, something to cherish, something to look at and be astounded by. It really leaves us with the sense of vastness, but also with the sense of like, look at what humanity has done. Look at what humanity's been able to achieve. Look at what humanity's been able to accomplish with this ship. And the fact that that opens as we then, I would assume, take control of the smaller ship, we navigate through the vastness of space. It's extremely powerful. And I love that we take something so classical and twist it and use it in a way that is organic, for lack of a better term in this particular case, since we're dealing with sci-fi and space, and using that organic soundscape of the Adagio for Strings with the human voices, with the choir, to tell the story of the journey through space, I guess. It's really powerful. Next up is Destiny Into Darkness from Planetary Annihilation, and the reason why this video is actually being done. One of my patrons suggested this particular track, and I said, wow, wouldn't it be cool to actually lump this in with other tracks from RTS games, because it's a genre that I feel is a little bit underrepresented in this time period that we live in. I'm really excited to listen to this as well. Here we go. I love a good timpani. Okay, spooky. I love this slow build in here. Love that percussion in the background, that slight little... Love this general build-up where with the horns in the background. The choir is so cool. This is actually like a song filled with fear. Feels like we're going into the heart of the beast, the belly of the beast, right? Like a final battle where everything is on the line and we have everything to lose. A lot of unison movement there. You hear the horns in the background? Love the trumpets. Bum, 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 bum. Big swell. Reset. That's really cool. Strings are ripping. Slight crescendo. Wow, the horn took over there, the trumpet. Nice harmony there. Wow, and the fadeaway with the twinkling bells. Repeating that motif that we heard through this, but in the French horn. Wow, that was really unexpected. That was a very fast 4 minutes, which I love because sometimes 4 minutes can feel really long. And other times like this, it kind of moves really quickly. And I think part of that is because we have this constant forward momentum, constant forward drive to get to the end result. And it really does feel like Destiny Into Darkness. The theme of this is descending into the pit of hell and fighting a battle that is really a life and death situation. The stakes obviously are incredibly high with this music. You get that sense from a couple different reasons. Obviously, we have the chorus at the peak of their range for a lot of this, but it's done really well with some really nice crescendi. You have really nice cutoffs that then we segue into another idea. You also have the strings rip-roaring the entire time, and you have this heavy emphasis of the brass that often doubles the chorus, which adds a sense of dread and intensity and forward propulsion, that coupled with the strings. I love this because what we're getting is a sense of like, back is against the wall, we have nowhere to turn. The only way we can win this is by going through it and by going down into the darkness. And it's a very, very satisfying piece. And again, like, not something that I would expect to hear out of an RTS game, because honestly, I'm not sure what I expect to hear out of an RTS game. I guess I assume I would hear orchestra, but this is like really refined, and it's really, really freaking good. Next up is, of course, Warcraft. We can't not talk about Warcraft if we're going to talk about RTS, and this is Warcraft 3, the Night Elf theme. Tribal essence. Some foreign sounding instruments. You hear almost sounds like the tambourine. Wow, I love the brass and the percussion rhythm here. I love that you hear ferocity in that drum rhythm. Shum, shum. Shum, shum, shum. Shum, shum, shum. Is that sounds like a Duduk? Timpani. Feel otherworldly in here. Sensual savagery, if that makes sense. Oh, I love the percussion so much. It's interesting because we end up getting some soundscapes that we would typically hear in, say, desert music. Yarato. I hear a sense of mysticism. Sounds like shaman style, like throat singing maybe. Something to fear in the middle of the night, you know? I can imagine the night elves hiding and waiting in the trees for their chance to strike on their unsuspecting victims. Actually a slow slide up. Wow. Low drone. Extremely evocative. It's a constant low drone. Twinkling of the night. Also of summoning up forest, for like a giant tree or something. There's a real mysticism in the sound as it swells up. That's really powerful. Man, that's so cool. What a sick theme. And I think it really like goes to show the prowess and the intensity of the night elves and their willingness to, you know, wait and lie in wait. And it's really, really spiritual almost. I'm thinking of the druids, of course. I'm looking at the picture with the night elf with the leaf in her hair, with the leaves in her hair. There's certainly a sense of naturalism. And yeah, that's a really sick piece. I mean, there's a lot of different RTS games out there, and we're only scratching the surface, but we only have time for one more, and that's Halo Wars. And this particular track is The Spirit of Fire. I'm really excited to check this out. I've never heard any music from Halo Wars. There's lots of games like Age of Mythology, Empire at War, Supreme Commander, things that I haven't touched on, any of the more modern RTSs that are out there right now. This style of game is still around, and while it may not be as relevant per se as I guess the cousin of the RTS, the MOBA, I do think that there is a lot to appreciate and admire and enjoy when it comes to the music of these games. And yeah, let's check out Spirit of Fire here. Wow. Wasn't expecting piano. Sick. Whoa, remix with the piano over top. It's so sensitive. That's so cool. It's the same rhythm. Nice chords underneath. That's nice. A little break in between. I always find it interesting when tracks do this. They don't completely fade out. Like, it doesn't just end. It sort of fades into darkness. You know, the Spirit of Fire, you really get that sense. There's a sound quality in there of great passion, of desire to be forthright, to do the right thing, to guide the world into new beginnings. You know, we still don't lose the sense of cohesion that we have in Halo itself, and I think this is like what, a spin-off series, so to have that theme come in and then have these beautiful chords play underneath, I actually love that piece. I actually love it. I love that more than the original in a lot of ways. That was beautiful, and it does give you the sense of like, I love my job. I'm proud to be here. I will fight for the betterment of the world and for the universe and whatever, and we'll stop at nothing to get things done. I thought that was really obvious, and there's almost a sense of patriotism in there, I suppose. And yeah. So, you know, is RTS as a genre dead? Who knows? It's certainly maybe in hibernation, and it certainly seems to be turning a corner as we look to the future for the games that are coming out based around this identity and style of game. I'm really curious to hear the music of some of these games that have been announced that are based around RTSs. And if you'd like to hear more RTS music, definitely drop it in the comments below. I'd love to do another episode like this. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later.